So this is completion. It's still completion, by the way, it's not changed. It apparently was completion yesterday, and it's apparently completion today. But there is no real today or yesterday or tomorrow. There's no real time. There's no real anything. So there's no real changing or unchangingness about anything. There's no real permanence or impermanence. There's no real anything. All there is insubstantiality, which is just emptiness, total emptiness, which is totally full, and all there is. This is the immediacy and the spontaneousness of all that's seeming to appear, flow, timeless flow, without direction or dimension, and without real separation. So separation is a total illusion. It seems to be an appearance, but it's an illusory appearance. So non-separation, boundless freedom, totally whole, therefore not really going or coming, not really changing or shifting or transmutating. There's just total freedom, which is beyond direction, dimension, limitation and conditionality. And all of those things can seem to appear, which is just freedom, really. Freedom appearing as a sense of me, or a sense of here, a sense that something needs to happen, that something could happen, that something should happen, or would happen, or might happen. But the happening is already free, it's already everything, it's already fulfilled. Fulfillment is completely, absolutely everything. It's all-encompassing. So freedom is this is freedom. It's not a sort of freedom that might be imagined as some sort of fancy fairy tale idea. It's not anything to do with ideas, really, but ideas is freedom too. So whatever is happening is freedom. And this is a freedom that is not limited. So the word freedom, the way it's being talked about, is unlimited in every single way. So it's not limited by polarity, meaning positive and negative. It's not a positive or a negative freedom. It's not a neutral freedom. It's just freedom, which can appear as positivity, negativity, neutrality, equality. But there is no real polarity or duality. It's all timelessly complete. That's simply all there is, without reason, because reason and meaning and purpose demand time, they demand limitation, they demand a sense of direction. That is meaning and purpose, that is a sort of appearance of significance, that this is moving in a direction, that this isn't complete as it is, but one day it will be. Or maybe there's something more than this. And that's a sort of illusion, really, that there's something more than this, that this will become something, or it will unleash its full potential, or someone might find their true nature if they inquire deeply enough. But there is no one to do that, or to not do that. Freedom is seemingly allowed to appear as inquiry, as questions and investigations. But all of that is happening for no reason at all, and no one is already in charge. So there's no controller. Control too requires separation. There's a driver and a car. There is neither, really. So there's no controller because there's no real separation for there to be something controlling something else. So the freedom that is not separate has got nothing to do with control. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Abundantly free already. And that is simply everything. And the need for something to happen is in a way freedom expressing as lack. It seems to be a felt sense that something is lacking, that something is incomplete and it can become complete. And with my choice and free will, I will get there, I'll make progress, I'll make an effort of some kind to get to this complete freedom. And that, of course, is happening for no one and no reason. The whole sense that this can go somewhere or that someone is happening is there's no reality to that whatsoever. There's no real stories. Even this might sound like a story, but there are no real stories. All there is what's immediately appearing to happen, which is of no substance whatsoever. And so there's a sort of jargoning, muttering utterance seemingly happening without a position, and it's not therefore landing on anyone's ears, it's not landing on anyone's identity, or it's not given to anyone, it's not prescribed, there's no instruction obviously, there's no sense that this is even being heard by anyone. Which, for a separate individual illusory dream, hearing that will possibly just sound completely nonsensical, which is absolutely free to be that, of course. But there is no one to hear this, there's no one to do anything, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to achieve, nothing to accomplish, nothing to be, no one to impress, no progress to move through or onwards and upwards, and nowhere to stay either. So it's got nothing to do with staying still, and it's got nothing to do with moving along. It's distanceless, so there's no real movement or stillness, or momentum or stagnation. It's free of all polarity in every single sense, and that is simply as it is. So completion is already absolutely everything. And this sort of exposure, the abundant exposure of this freedom, which is not, it's not found anywhere, it's not found in a place or a person or a time, it's never found at all, because all there is freedom. So freedom, being all there is, doesn't find itself, it doesn't reveal itself, it just apparently stops looking. But that's not a process, obviously, it's not a process. It is already what's happening. So the exposure simply points out the total, crystal clear, abundant, obvious nature of the completion that is absolutely all-encompassingly everything. And what apparently is left is what's already happening without anyone knowing about it, without anyone relating to that as knowledge or understanding, or relating to anything for that matter. There's no relationship without distance. There's just immediacy. So no one knows it, no one relates to it, no one owns anything, and no one does anything, because there is no one. There's just everything, which is nothing at all. Totally free, distanceless, immediate, spontaneous, free-flowing glory for no meaning and purpose or significance at all. It doesn't need meaning, nothing needs meaning. What meaning could there be when everything is already complete and whole? Beyond any imagined ideas of what that could be, it simply is this already as it is.